Have you lost weight only to gain it right back after returning to your routine? Did your diet work for someone else but not you? Rockin' That ID Life helps you understand your genetic makeup to find a lifestyle that fits your needs. Together, you and RockinThatIDLife.com can focus on your health and meet your goals today. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. If you haven't heard, Center Ice Brewery beer is now exclusively available at beer stores around town, so make sure you pick some up on your next milk and eggs run. That's Center Ice Brewery. Please drink responsibly. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 243 of Let's Go Blues Radio, where the often imitated, never duplicated, played a key role in 1987 by rescuing baby Jessica from the well due to Bill Day having freakishly small hands for a child his age. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Special thanks to RockinThatIDLife.com. Can't screw up the sponsor URL. And CenterIceBrewery.com for proudly sponsoring the show. Please check us out. Check them out. It's Wednesday, February 22nd, 23rd, and we're broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. This is franchise episode number 342 all time. Tune in with the show. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If I could screw up this intro anymore, I'd be a...
Take two!
Take two. Start over. We are on
Here, let
Twitter.
me come off mute so we could add the dogs.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize it, Kurt, but you first said episode 242 as well.
Did I really?
No.
Yep, but then you just said it again, and you said it correctly. So
340.
you've only screwed up like 8 times. It's okay.
Yeah, it was in my notes wrong. 342. We're on, right?
Yeah,
342. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just do a search for us. You will find us. I'm Kurt Price, and my co-host for tonight's big show are Jeff Ponder and Bill Day. And on the agenda for tonight, we'll discuss the Blues' overtime loss to Montreal and the social media overreactions that surrounded that. A killer rebound win versus Toronto. Someone's got a big metal door swinging back and forth. That's what it is.
Yeah, right. Who's on a barge for this show?
Right.
I'm doing this for the middle of the Mississippi.
It's like males waiting in the distance. A killer rebound win versus Toronto, holding on to win versus Philadelphia. Bobby Plager gets a stretch of I-6440 named after him, and former Blues GM and coach Emile the Cat Francis passes away, and much more on this episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. How are you guys tonight? Sleeping with you guys yet?
Yeah. Oh, it's sleeted all. Oh, so I got a funny story that I'll tell later about beer of the episode. But yeah, it started slating right when I was ending my workday, and it was bad too, real bad where I'm at.
It was about what 4 or 4:30 when it started snowing, slating here, something like that.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
it was about 4:30 here.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, it was about 4-ish. I was sitting downstairs watching the end of the Liverpool game, and all of a sudden I heard up against the window, and now all I hear is
You got like the three tenors going on there.
it's one dog.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
You know,
This is
I've
painful.
always been
Painful
told in
start.
radio and podcasting to when there's background noise, you just ignore it and move on.
Not a chance.
And sometimes it is just way too difficult.
Not a chance. Wow, it's we got some comments going on the YouTube chat here. Ken Morris is in there. Good evening, Ken. Matt Harris, good evening, Hockey Masochist. Nice. GD Dale. Is that new? GD Dale? Is that a new user?
Read it. Read who says this.
From Adam Cowgill. Hello all, and Center Ice for Life. Oh, very nice. Adam.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Good
Center
to
Ice
see
for
Adam.
Life. That's a nice ring to it. Center
That's
Ice
right.
for Life.
Center Ice for life.
So I would I don't know if Adam knows, but I mean, hey Adam, when they reopen, which they're gonna right somewhere,
Oh, for sure.
Adam will be there.
I'm 100% confident that
Yeah.
they will reopen.
So he needs to be there behind the
Yeah.
bar.
behind the bar or just joining us and having a couple beers with us, which, hey, that sounds like fun. We haven't really done that with Adam.
Yeah.
We've done shots with him. We've shared beers with him, but actually hanging for a night, that would be fun. We should do that.
You met Adam? I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Burn.
It's a joke.
Burn to our favorite bartender.
It's a joke. Our favorite bartender can take a joke.
I hope.
Yeah. You have to be able to take a joke to be in this YouTube chat.
YouTube chat and to just honestly be involved in hockey in general. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can't have people who can't take jokes.
Enough comedy jokes. I purposely didn't talk while it was going on so we could hear it.
I'm just gonna let them fill in for me the rest of the night. I think their commentary is.
Man.
This is the rest of the show, folks.
I know. I've seen the
Their
sound levels on this.
commentary is so much better than anything I bring to the table. So
Actually, I can't distinguish the difference between them and you talking.
there you go.
Ken Morris
Hey,
said,
Bill. Hey, Bill. What'd you think of the Blues play last night?
"Is this Finding Nemo? Dory talking whale, speaking whale." Ken Morris said, "Oh my God, Putin has started his Russian attack on the Ukraine. How will this impact Russian and Ukraine players in the NHL?" Good question.
Do we want to crack that egg open?
I don't know. I mean, a number of the players live here. So I'm sure they all have family back there. So I don't know.
Right.
It's a good question.
And somebody will get an out of context quote from some Russian player that says you have to. Well, not Panarin, but from somebody who what was it? Oh God, I'm blanking.
Cut to the dogs. Cut to the dogs.
They've broken up. They've called it a night. See, they've got me completely.
Dog, vamp for me.
Yeah. So the the guy that used to play goal for the Ducks and then the Flyers and why you have to be so mad? That guy.
Oh, Sergei Bobrovsky.
No,
not
Bobrovsky.
The other Russian. What the hell's wrong with us?
I'm drawing a complete blank.
Yes.
Complete blank.
Yeah.
Ilya.
Oh, man. Yeah. Unsubscribe from our podcast right now.
Oh my God. What is wrong with us?
We've lost all credibility.
Somebody help us, please. Anyone in the chat. What is wrong with us?
Brizgalov.
Oh. You know what?
Yes.
Revoke my hockey fan card now. Good Lord.
Yes. So he said some pretty pro-Russian stuff in one of his end of career interviews. Somebody like him, right? They would say something that would get taken out of context, and he's a warmonger and all that.
Kyle Hanner chimed in. Brizgalov. He may have chimed in before I saw it. So.
Which, hey, Kyle Hanner, let's go ahead and say it. He's a new live listener, although he is a podcast listener. He says, "Hey, fellas, been podcasting since the 18 off season. Glad to finally make it to a show live." Yeah, sweet, awesome. Thanks for joining us.
And you picked the worst one yet.
But the worst opening we've ever had.
It is where all the cool kids hang out. So
yeah,
just not
Except
tonight.
I'm the kid that kind of tags along, like the one that kind of follows the cool crowd. That's me.
Matt Harris says, "Question for you all. I'm celebrating the delivery of my Heritage jersey. Who should I get on it?" Wrong answer. So you got a blank jersey and you're going to get it lettered, I guess.
Yori Laterra.
Wrong answers only. Yeah, Laterra.
I say that because I finally watched the gold medal game from this year's Olympics, and they showed a big goal from a Finnish player last Olympic. And, I think it was 14. And I saw Yori Laterra come up and hug him, and I'm like, oh, who'd have thought I'd be watching a gold medal game in 2022 and I'd see Yori Laterra?
Yeah.
Wrong answers.
Piece of work, that guy. Darren Pang.
Kurt Price.
That's a wrong answer. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Mm-hmm. I win.
We can revisit that.
I'm the winner.
Let's see. We don't have a single. What?
Yeah, I was just going to say, on the topic of Winter Classic Heritage jerseys, mine that was supposed to be a Christmas present is going to be delivered just in time for my birthday Friday. So,
oh my God,
nice.
Oh my
hey,
God.
Happy early birthday to Bill, by the way.
How long has it been? Like 6 months?
Yeah, she ordered it the day they went on sale.
That that is obscenely late.
My sister-in-law ordered my brother's, I think, in November, and I think his delivery date is sometime in early March. So,
absurd. That's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a jersey. Letter it and get it out the door.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that Friday.
Well, your birthday's Friday? That's on Friday.
Yes.
Oh, happy birthday, Bill.
Well, thank you.
Bill's turning 24.
24.
If only.
Official beers of episode number 342. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. My handle is cprice12. Jeff says jponder94, and Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33. Jeff, you want to start us off as is tradition?
As is tradition. So I told you guys early on that I had a funny story about my beer of the episode, but I will be drinking tonight from our wonderful sponsor, The Beauty, the best damn IPA in St. Louis, if you ask me, because I'm not an IPA fan. This is an IPA that I could drink all day and all night long. So my quick funny
and
story.
You often do.
Yes, I do. Yes, every day. That's all I drink. All I drink and eat. So we mentioned the sleet in St. Louis. It started right as my last work meeting ended, and I got home, and I was home already. I went upstairs, and I looked up and saw, oh wow, it is sleeting already. I better get to the liquor store because essentials, right?
Sure.
Well, I'm kind of a dummy because I work from home. I have put off getting new tires on my car, and I was told before last summer that you can't even drive in rain. There's no tread left on these things. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, I would slip here and there, but it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. Driving to the liquor store today, I'm going to go get new tires this weekend. Went down Telegraph, which, by the way, I found out that there's a liquor store within a mile of where I live that sells Center Ice Brew, which is awesome. So
Sweet.
I just learned that today.
Are there any
went down there?
Are there any Lick Him stores on the way?
But
okay, good. Sorry,
but yeah, I was slipping all over the road, and there's a slight hill to get back home, and I was going about 15 miles an hour between 10 and 15 because my car couldn't go any faster. And I kept thinking, I'm going to have to leave my car abandoned right here because I can't make it up the hill. So that is my dedication for getting beer for this episode. So just put that one in your cap.
Bill, what you got?
I have I'm also going local, the vanilla coffee underbrown from Heavy Riff. It's the Kona coffee and vanilla infused version of their eponymous velvet underbrown brown ale that is one of the two brown ales that you see on most menus around St. Louis, that and Civil Life. Can't go wrong with that. Digging this one with the coffee and the vanilla. Nice little sweet. Good on a cold winter's night. It's good.
And I just got a notification that SIUE is closed tomorrow due to inclement weather.
Oh yeah.
So drink up.
School's closed too. Yeah.
Yeah. My kids were called off an hour or two ago, something like that. And they called it SIU. We've had a lot of snow days this year. Not sure if it's a work from home day. Have to discuss that later, but
wait, last I heard, Kurt, your internet went out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, darn it.
Dang.
No, I I actually love working from home. It's comfortable. My beer this evening is the let's see, Pizza Port Brewing Company. You see that? Is it washed out?
It's washed out.
No, that's good.
Bacon
and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
Breakfast stout.
Imperial Coffee Porter.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is I lied. I'm not drinking this tonight, but I don't have a beer tonight, but I'm gonna advertise this or show off this because this is one of the beers that we received in the beer bet with Teal Town, USA, the San Jose Sharks guys, for the Blues knocking them off in the playoffs in 2019. And this arrived. These are yes, and the beers arrived the same day as my replica Stanley Cup. So that was kind of a cool day.
So we've got GT Dale, who is our friend Adam Calgill from Center Ice Brewery. He's drinking a raspberry picker ale. Cheers, guys. Matt Harris says, I'm drinking a horchata wheat beer that I got from somewhere in Tucson last week. Lightly sweet, very nice. Kyle Hanner says, I'm drinking Mama Tried, a Citra Pale Ale from here in the Houston area. And then Adam Gold over in the Facebook chat says, I'm enjoying I can never say this right. I think it's Paulaner Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always want to call it Paulinier, which is like mixing Paul and Revere.
It's Paulaner, like the all fruit.
Paulaner. Yeah, I think that's right.
Like the jelly.
Paulinier, he was the second string third baseman for the Tigers in the mid 80s, I think.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I think you're thinking of.
It was all one name too.
I think you're thinking of Paul Molitor, who played for the Brewers.
No, I'm just making shit up today.
Oh yeah, or Paul Molitor cigarettes.
No, I think you're thinking of Paul O'Neill, who once hit 2 home runs for a kid in the hospital.
You know, and he was on Seinfeld too. Did you know that they just retired Paul O'Neill's number? The Yankees announced they're going to retire his number. Paul O'Neill retiring his number. I don't
know why, but his appearance on Seinfeld is one of my favorite guest appearances ever. Because
it was him
just the way that he talks to Kramer he's like, I'm not a home run hitter. And then he starts looking around. He goes, how'd you even get in here? Just the way he said it, just delivery was perfect.
They had Keith Hernandez on the show too, didn't they, at one time?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he was. He wanted Jerry to help him move.
Yeah, such a good show. I have a question for Adam in the YouTube chat. So he's drinking a raspberry picker ale, right?
Yep.
So I'm curious. I mean, what does his beer fridge look like at home? I'd be curious because being a bartender, or I'm not sure if he is going to continue bartending, or if he's a former Center Ice Brewery bartender. So I'm curious to see what a bartender's beer fridge at home looks like.
His new deal is I think he's playing for the Orlando Solar Bears. Just signed a contract.
So, the Trashers? Or the Trashers?
Yeah.
Or the Trashers.
Yeah, the Danbury Trashers.
Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues history Twitter account, February 23rd, 1991. Brett Hull scored a hat trick, had his 100th point, and scored a goal in his 13th consecutive game. Adam Oates had a 15-game point streak, and the St. Louis Blues they recorded their 8th straight win at home and a 9-2 win versus the Boston Bruins. 13 straight games with a goal. That kind of thing is unheard of now.
And point out too that you said 100th point. It's worth mentioning 100th point in the season. He already had a plethora of points in his career before that.
Right.
And I just point that out because anybody who is like new to hockey would say, 100th point in his career. No. Back in the day, Brett Hull put up 100 points a season.
Yeah. Adam Oates, February 23rd, 1986. Doug Gilmour had his first career hat trick, and Mark Hunter had his second career hat trick against former Blues goalie Mike Liut in the St. Louis Blues 8-2 win over the Hartford Whalers. And
this was the game that pushed Bill Day to become a goalie. right?
8-2.
No.
You're like, if Mike Liut, if he can play this way, I can make the NHL.
No. I hate this game. I hate that game. Like that was one of the first times, like when Liu got traded to the Whale. You know, it was at that point I didn't have the nostalgic affinity for Hartford. I hated that he got traded there, and it tore me up when we would lose to him. But that game tore me up because we kicked the shit out of him. So I don't know. I just I was still way too young to really be able to take a side on, you know, do I still like him because he was my first favorite player, or, you know, do I not like him because he's playing against my favorite team?
You were torn. The newspaper clipping that is attached to the tweet has a brief write-up of the game, and it shows the box score, who scores, first period, second period, third period, a breakdown, shots on goal per period, and goals per period. This is just a little snapshot of what I would spend hours and hours just staring at as a kid, the sports page and all the hockey box scores, just seeing who scored and when, and it sounds nerdy, but I just used to love just looking at it for a long time. I'd take the paper, the couch, or whatever at school. I'd have it in the lunchroom or whatever, and just reading the paper.
Right. How many kids today are robbed of the opportunity to read the name Bourgeois over and over?
Charlie Bourgeois
in the penalty column.
Right. Penalty Bourgeois. 5:32.
What about Jack Brownscheitel? Like, miss those kind of names, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Look at that Doug Evans first goal for the Blues. Only goal
Rick
for the Blues.
Natras with a big goal.
Millen was in goal for the Blues that game. 8, 12, and 6 after this game. And Liut was 17, 19, and 2. Referees were Andy Van Hellemond.
Was Andy Van Hellemond, because this was the one referee era.
Right, that's true. That's right. Man. Yeah, that's right, kids. There used to be only one referee on the ice.
And
boy, you're all just learning all kinds of stuff from us tonight, huh?
And that's why people used to get away with murder in the game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Remember the controversy, the extra official on the ice. There's not gonna be any room out there. Too many officials. It's fine. It's fine.
They're gonna have to go to 4-on-4.
It's fine. February 23rd.
Well, they should. There is not enough room, and they should go to 4-on-4. But you know, that's a different discussion.
Or make the rinks bigger, which they won't do.
Make the rinks bigger. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, they won't do that though.
Hey, Bill, I think they should make the nets bigger and make the goalies wear less pads. How do you feel about that?
I think you should go to hell and die.
Just strap some pillows to your legs. You're fine.
Yep.
Couch cushions.
Good enough for me in street hockey. Good enough for ice hockey.
Couch cushions and rope. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
The goalie. February 23rd, 2019, Jordan Binnington became the 6th goalie in NHL history to win each of his first 6 home starts with 31 saves, and then 5 shootout saves in a 2-1 win over the visiting Boston Bruins. Sammy Blais with the shootout winner. Kind of interesting that this was against Boston. And
they did something later against Boston, didn't they? That same
season? A little something. Having trouble remembering what it was though exactly. It's been so long.
Yeah, I seem to remember a guy skating off the ice too early, and then I remember an NHL 2-1-2 goal being scored by Zach Sanford. That's about it.
No kidding. No kidding. Backdoor slamming home. Yeah, easy goal. I could have scored that goal. Maybe.
What I remember from that game is Binnington's save on Bacchus in the 3rd period. Bacchus basically had an empty net.
In this game.
Yeah. This game. I thought you were joking about the game 7.
No.
I remember that too.
No, I'm not trolling David Bacchus. You know,
the glove save. The glove save, right? Yeah. That was fantastic.
Beauty.
Okay, so we got we'll talk about some Blues hockey. Probably an interesting conversation about the Montreal game and the fallout after that.
There's gonna be a lot of yelling, I think.
I mean, yeah, a lot of yelling into the microphone. Let's yell for no reason whatsoever. Loud noises.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Yeah, right. And the game versus Toronto and the game versus Philly. After this word from my D-Life.
You don't live your life like the guy you see at the gym powerlifting 7 days a week. You also don't live it like the cycling class instructor or the vegan who gets her steps every day. So why go to the vitamin store and try the same stuff they're using and hope it meets your needs? Newsflash, it doesn't. RockinThatIDLife.com is here to help you better understand how you respond to food and exercise. Their supplements are developed to make sure you're using quality products you can trust to achieve the results that are meaningful to you. Is your goal to improve overall energy, achieve deeper sleep, lose or gain weight? The answer to all of those options? Rockin' That ID Life can help. Our friend Dustin at RockinThatIDLife.com is here to help you do life better and achieve your goals, not someone else's. Get started today by visiting RockinThatIDLife.com or emailing Dustin at RockinThatIDLife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you to receive 10% off your order. That's RockinThatIDLife.com and start your betterment journey today. And you just heard from our friends at RockinThatIDLife.com, and I did get a message from our friend Dustin just tonight, right before the show. He says that tonight is the last night to get $25 off the DNA kit. They rarely go on sale, which I'll say he's been a sponsor now for, I think, a little over a year, and I don't think that's gone on sale once in the time he's been a sponsor. So $25 off the DNA kit. All you got to do is go to RockinThatIDLife.com tonight. So live listeners, make sure you check that out. Sorry, podcasters, you're a little late, but yeah, that's a big deal. It's going to save you a lot of money, and you'll be able to try out the product. It's a great product. I've done it before. So again, RockinThatIDLife.com. Get the DNA kit, and automatically $25 will be taken off your purchase.
One of the benefits of watching live the show.
Exactly.
We should do more.
So
live
you'll remember
deals.
next week, podcasters, you'll want to tune in live because you might get something like this.
Right. So this came in the mail today. I didn't mention this earlier. This hat. I posted this on Twitter when I first saw it. I was like, I'm gonna get it. This is a Blues logo. This is a Blues hat. It's got a blue one on the back.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this logo before.
I didn't know how to take that when I saw it. I think look, this is going to sound very odd, but it's coming from me, so surprise, surprise. I don't think I would ever wear that hat, but Kurt, I think you rock that hat.
I like it.
I think it looks good on you.
I like it. I don't think I'd ever want to be on a jersey. Of course, I have to see it. I'm not going to. But I would never want the blue note replaced with this thing, or even with a third jersey. I don't know if this works on a jersey. Maybe it would. I don't know. There's already a jersey in the NHL with a B on it. One's enough.
Yeah.
But I on a hat, I love it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting if this is like an early, push out of some kind of alternative logo they're going to use for marketing purposes or something. So I'm quite curious if they use it for anything else.
It could be a marketing test just to see if the hat sells, and if it does, then maybe that's something they play with in the future.
Maybe
that's a thing.
I like it. It's a comfy hat too.
Would you buy a Blues jersey if it had just diagonal script Blues?
I have to see it. Like Rangers or Bolts, not Bolts, but yeah. Bolts. I don't know. I'd see it. I mean,
Rangers, Penguins.
Color matters.
My first reaction
matters. Stripes matter.
My first reaction would be no, but again, like Kurt said, I mean, there's been some cool. The Rangers ones are great, but I think that's also because there's some history behind that Rangers look too.
Right. I think it works for them for whatever reason. I'm used to it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I as far as logos and the Rangers go, I love the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah.
Image on the chest. That's the crest. That's a fantastic one. Big fan of that one. So last week's show we talked about how the Blues laid an egg versus New Jersey, but then came roaring back with a nice 5-1 win versus Chicago, another nice 5-2 win versus Ottawa. This show we're talking about how the Blues laid an egg versus Montreal, but then came roaring back with a nice 5-3 win versus Toronto and another win versus Philadelphia. So it's kind of like they're establishing a pattern of sorts the past couple weeks. But yeah, this game in Montreal, Husso was in net for the Blues, played very well as usual and as expected. Blues were coming off a couple of nice wins, and Montreal was in the midst of a 10-game losing streak. This game was boring as hell. I thought this game was terrible for the Blues.
I fell asleep in the second period.
Did you?
I actually did. Yeah. I was laughing at the people at intermission who are posting pictures of like me during this game, and it was just like, just like a stone face, like what the hell's happening? And I'm like, oh man, how can it's still hockey? How can by the 3-minute mark, I was passed out.
It was the Blues looked just disinterested in this game. That they're going through the motions against a bad team and playing down to the other team's level, like you see teams do all the time. The Blues did have a 2-1 lead on goals by Thomas and Buchnevich, but and Buchnevich's goal coming with a minute 19 left in the game, but painfully allowed a goal by Cole Caulfield with only 10 seconds to go. And then Caulfield scored again in overtime to hand the Blues a 3-2 loss as Montreal broke their 10-game losing streak. Blues were outshot 30-27, lost the faceoff battle 54% to 46, over 3 on the power play. Just looked disinterested almost the entire game.
Just not a. And I know that we always make fun of the mantra of you got to play a full 60, but I mean they came into this game and I don't want to speak for the team because I don't know, but I feel like they came into this game saying, hey guys, this team's won 8 games. Let's gear up for Toronto on Saturday. Not saying that was at the front of their minds, but I think in the back of their minds they're thinking, let's get through this game. We got a big one on Saturday coming. It's hockey night in Canada. We'll see, and they just let this one slip through their fingers. It was just, it's a shame because that goal by Buchnevich to put him up by a goal nice. Late, that was a fucking sick goal. Yeah. That was a booming shot, great pass, great setup, great one-timer. It's just, but now it's one of those things that gets buried because it's like, oh yeah, well they ended up losing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right. The entire game was uninspired, right? Second game in an empty barn in Canada, there's no energy whatsoever. It's dreary, it's drab, no life, and then you think that Buchnevich's goal at the end is all the life you need to pull it out.
Minute 19 to go, you think so, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, though, Cole Caulfield under Martin St. Louis has figured a few things out. And I think this was the beginning of it, right? Get open, get yourself open. And he did a great job doing that on the tying goal. And then,
just be out there with Thomas and have Thomas just leave you
as a defender,
and leave you wide open. And Thomas just floats to the middle for no reason. And I'm like, he's got to
work on his defensive game.
He's on Caulfield on the near boards, and they both come out of the corner, and Thomas just goes to the middle of the ice, and Caulfield stays there. I was like, what the fuck?
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. They need to cut his defensive responsibility in some way because it's been bad, and it's a learning situation for him where he needs to pick his game up because that was bad. But Caulfield, for him, I love that kid. I loved his run last year. And let's face it, at this time, the Canadiens only had 8 wins, but they got some guys on that team, and Bill can vouch for this. They can pass the puck. So if Caulfield can get open, look out. That's a sniper right there. So he's figuring it out now. And like you said, Bill, under Martin St. Louis, he's looking like quite the little NHL stud. So, bad by the Blues to let him come alive there at the end of that game.
Yeah, both he and Suzuki have found new life under St. Louis. The game tonight, 4-0 on Buffalo. Suzuki with a penalty shot goal. Caulfield with a late, again, gets open for a nice, side slot shot, beautiful. But yeah, unfortunately, it was against the Blues. A game that everybody, including the Blues, believed there was no way they could lose.
And they shouldn't have.
Got a point. Got a point.
They got a point, and they shouldn't have lost this game.
But it felt like a loss.
Even though they played disinterested and they didn't play a good game at all. They still had a 2-1 lead with 1:19 to go, and they seemed to just give up. They're like, oh, the game's over.
We're about to talk about some of the reactions that people had, but I'll say, going into that conversation, I mean, it was a game where it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Jesus Christ, you got to win this game. Not only is Montreal, lifeless at this point, you didn't play well. It wasn't like Montreal just picked their game up, and I mean, I think at the end of the game they did, but all game long, I think they had plenty of opportunity to get a big lead, and they weren't shooting, they weren't taking advantage of their opportunities, they weren't their neutral zone play was just poor. Just so many chances, I think, to not have this happen. So I will say, prefacing any kind of reaction talk we have here, to a certain extent, I understood the anger, but it was just, what the hell, guys? Come on.
Well, the anger is fine. I mean, being angry after a piss poor effort, and losing against a team that you really should have beaten, no problem. That's justified. I mean, you want your team to show up, right? But I think you can be angry in the moment, but then after the fact, you got to take a deep breath, step back, and say, okay, shit happens. It happens. You don't like it at the time, but you got to realize this kind of stuff happens. It's not the end of the world. Great teams lose to good teams fairly often. I mean, it's not a rare thing. It happens.
That Washington Capitals team that the worst record ever was it? They had 10 wins that year.
Yeah.
They still won 10 games. Like, there's never been a team, and there will never be a team that goes 0-82 in an NHL season. They're still going to get wins.
I mean, Tampa Bay got swept by Columbus in the playoffs a few years back. So, I mean, it's just stuff happens, and people were acting like this game was a Game 5 stinker that put us down 3-2 in the playoffs against a team that we should be handling. You know what I mean? People were freaking out. They were, jumping off the proverbial bridge of, the poplar. It's just, and lots of comments on social media. I got some of them here. The Blues just can't get it done this season. That's obvious. Another one, this team might not even make the playoffs. The St. Louis Blues are not a serious cup contender. This is all after the Montreal game, right? They can't hang with Colorado, Minnesota, or Nashville. We need to be sellers.
Oh, that's all three teams. That's 3 teams they've beaten this season, by the way.
Yeah, add Toronto to that list too now, right?
Yeah.
We need to be sellers of the deadline. If they play like this in the playoffs, we're not going anywhere. And
no shit.
That one bugged me, right?
Yeah.
People say that.
Right.
Oh, I'm like, if you take any team's worst game or a really bad effort during the regular season, of course they're not going to win the playoffs if they play that way. You're not going to beat anybody if you play that way. That's
Colorado got
so ridiculous.
Barnstormed for like 8 or 9 goals earlier this season. You think Colorado? I mean, and yes, they probably were is the answer. But you think Colorado fans are at the time are sitting there looking like, well, if they play like this, they're not going to win a game in the playoffs. Well, no fucking shit. They just gave up 8 goals.
They were, and even, fellow Blues podcasters, friends of ours that, seemingly they seemed to like jumping ship. I'm like, what's going on? Yelling into the microphones during the entire show and acting like this game defined who this Blues team really is for some weird reason. Why would you? I don't understand that. I mean, I know the team has been inconsistent at times this season. Okay. And they have a weakness on defense, needs to be addressed. Everyone knows this. But to take this game and the game from New Jersey a few games before, which people are lumping them together, it's not just this game, it's one against New Jersey too. Okay, fine. They played bad against the Devils too. But why would you take a really, really small sample size from a much larger season so far and say, no, this is who the team really is on the two pretty bad games, but it's not who they are otherwise, right? It's not their vast body of work otherwise this season. It's weird. It's weird.
After the New Jersey game, I did, and I think I even did tweet it and said, I at what point do you stop throwing away games? Because we said that about the Calgary game, the 7-0 game, the Winnipeg game before the break, and then they came out of break. They lost to New Jersey pretty poorly. And I did ask that question, at what point do we say, okay, we can't just throw games out anymore and say, burn the tape. Eventually, you have to say, we have to address the issues we're having in these bad games. But having said that, again, 82-game season, you're going to have bad games. And you look at the New Jersey game, that was right after a break. I'm not trying to give them any kind of leeway at all. They should have come out with more fire. But that was right after a very long extended break. And, they got a goalie in whose confidence is as low as it could be. So, and then, going into this game, this is one, okay, holy shit, they should have beat Montreal. But at the same time, as much as I hate to use this because we always bitch about it, they did still get a point against an Eastern Conference team.
Yes.
They didn't just it wasn't even like they're playing Dallas and gave up a point to Dallas. They played a team in the Eastern Conference. You give up a point to them, who the fuck cares?
A team that is
you want
no possible way of making the playoffs.
Right.
And Eastern Conference has no bearing on our outcome.
It's funny. Some comment, this is the worst game I've ever seen the Blues play. I'm like, have you been watching the team for one season? I mean, they've played far worse games than this in past seasons. I mean,
how about that Calgary game 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Or how about half the games from 2006?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Yeah. So, I mean,
I actually like what Adam Gold said in our Facebook chat. He said, which surprise, Adam Gold's a very intelligent man. Don't let that go to your head, Adam. The 2018-19 Blues were not a bad team, even though worst in the league. If you look back, they lost to bad teams and beat good teams before January. So he's not saying Montreal's going to go on some crazy Blues run, but he's saying that at the time when the Blues were beating good teams, those teams' fans are saying, what the hell, you just lost to the last place team? But there's still skill on these rosters. Again, Cole Caulfield starting to break out now. Nick Suzuki. We saw this team in the Stanley Cup final last year. There's still skill on that roster. It's just, it hasn't all come together all season for them. So say this is the worst game that they've ever played because they should have beat Montreal. That's stupid. I'm sorry.
They got a point. It can't be the worst game ever played if you got a point. I don't care who you're playing or how you played. You get a point. It's not the worst game ever played. This team has lost, in seasons past, long time ago. They've had some bad games and some bad teams. So, I mean, I literally told on Twitter, one of the other podcasting shows, the Blues podcast shows, they said, we're going to go off the rails on our show. We're unbelievably pissed. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You're going to, calm down. It's a game in February on the road. And we got a point.
In an empty arena.
Losses like this happen. Ebbs and flows of a season. Good teams are going to lose to bad teams sometimes. They played shitty. No one's denying that. It was a terrible game for them, but it happens. That's sports. That any given Sunday, right?
And,
it happens.
That's what I said at the time when they lost. I even looked at my wife and I said, this is the beauty of sports. This is why we play the games. We don't just look at the stats and say, oh, well, the Blues should win this one. I'm not even going to watch. That's why they play them, because things like this are going to happen. And again, not comparing this game to 1980, but the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. That team had no business beating Russia. And guess what they did? So that's the beauty of watching these games, seeing these things unfold.
When I told them that, I got I kind of got blown off. I think they said, this is something like, I always support this team. It's okay to tell it like it is for once, or something like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's just going to come back to bite you in the ass. Whatever. It is. And and look what happened. It did.
Right. Yeah, and Montreal, not only of the we'll talk about the upcoming Blues games, but Montreal is now in a 4-game winning streak.
Yep.
And they beat the Isles, they beat Toronto, and they beat Buffalo tonight.
Here's the thing too, is that all these people who were jumping off the bridge saying how the Blues aren't very good in the end, they're playing inconsistent, terrible, they can't hang with the best teams. They're here through 50 games this season, the Blues rank 3rd in the West in goals per game, 2nd in the West in goals against per game. That's telling. 2nd best team in goals against per game with the goaltending stuff we had going on this season so far is, people wouldn't have guessed that, right? So 3rd in the West in goal differential, 3rd in the West in penalty kill, 1st in the West in power play. And they have a goalie in Husso who is on a roll, putting up the best goals against average of 197 and the 2nd best save percentage at 936 in the entire NHL. I mean, that doesn't sound like, to me, a team that is not going to make the playoffs or is in bad shape. You know what I mean? People need to be reminded of of what this team actually is, and they're a really good team. Are they the best team in the NHL? No. Can they beat the best in the NHL? Yes. Do I like their chances in the playoffs against the best? If they make a move on defense, I do. I mean, so it's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, my advice to those to other to that podcast specifically is get you guys a private Slack chat where you can check yourselves.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
We vent.
We have a therapy session in our private Slack chat, and we keep the stuff that usually that would put us off the rails off of social media. So it's great. We all have those reactions, right? Sitting around, like that was the one thing I was looking forward to that day was Blues Canadiens game, and man, the Blues really should win this game, and it was just such uninspiring hockey. It was frustrating.
Yeah,
but to rant and rave and do that,
rant and rave in the moment.
I was pissed,
right? Oh yeah, right. Rant and rave in the moment.
Don't save it up for broadcasting.
Talk about this game in the moment, and say how shitty they're playing in the moment in this game. Yeah, but don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Do what you want, right? But I'll give you recommendations and suggestions. Don't take a extremely small sample size and try and apply it to the entire season as a whole. It's not gonna work out for you most of the time. So that's just my advice to you.
Right. But, it's right, and it's one thing to want to to hold a team to account, right? When they are really truly playing shit hockey, and they've had a couple of blips on the radar, but it's not shit hockey through and through. Look at the next night. Segue opportunity. Look at the next game against Toronto.
When I was at my parents' house for the game against Toronto, it was my niece's birthday party. And so had the game on in the background. I was kind of trying to watch it as much as I could, right? But, you watch the game at a party, you can't really follow it as detailed as you can at home. But, I watched them go up 2-0. I'm just kind of laughing, and they're playing well. And then it's 3-3 in the third. I'm like, they're playing a good game, right? And they kind of take it over, which we'll talk about in a minute here. But it made me laugh at the final score of that game. I was like, see, all these people that just were doom and gloom and all this junk. I'm like, the very next game. See, I told you so. I literally told you so.
Comments. Unless, Bill, you have something to retort
Nope.
to Kurt. Some comments in the chat here. Ken Morris said it was a sad turn of events. Oh, he's talking about Austin Lynch making an attempt to have comment of the show, but I'm not going to accept it. Austin, you don't get it. He says, Hala
Hola.
took the Ola.
Hola.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I studied English. Excuse me.
English.
Let me start over. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff.
It's probably because it's not English. That's
true. That's what it is. I didn't study Spanish. Hola. I took the money line on Ukraine winning this. I put $500 down, hope for the best. Not funny, Austin. Dick. And
define
then Ken
winning.
Morris, this sad turn of events for sure. But Ken Morris, I'm going to give Ken Morris our comment of the show. He says, when the Blues lost to Montreal, there was no bridge nearby, so I jumped off the front step and slipped on some ice. I bruised my shin. So there you go.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ken. Hope your shin feels better.
But you got free health care, so it's all good, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Do whatever the hell you want. Go do the polar plunge every day. Who cares?
So
nice goal by Clayton Keller.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I missed the goal. I see the aftermath.
Yeah, it's nice play.
Oh, St. Louis. Oh, no, not St. Louis boy. Oh, Swansea, Illinois boy. Yeah,
Swansea, Illinois boy.
Swansea, Illinois. Give
We
credit
claim
to the
East
side. Yeah, he's from the east side. Impressive 6-3 win, which we just mentioned. I love it. I was watching Keller's goal. He choked up on his stick, had his top hand down a little bit to get better leverage on that shot. Love it. Anyway,
that's
it's a goal scorer's goal.
That's good. That's good hockey sense. That's when you're like,
yep.
Because it's funny because like I've tried to do that myself, but it's like the minute the puck comes to me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but then I look and the puck's like already in the corner, and I'm like, oh, I missed it already. Like these guys are just so damn quick. It's crazy.
And it's tied.
Yeah, tie game. Kings and Coyotes. 6-3 win for the Blues against Toronto. But nice bounce back win. Polar opposite game that they had against Montreal. Tarasenko didn't play in this game due to a minor injury. The Blues go into
and speculation went ahead and went rampant on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's traded. That's what I don't want to say rampant.
Yeah.
There was a couple people who were saying, "Oh, that means there might be a trade coming," and I'm like, "No, he is not getting moved.
He's not getting moved this season.
Not this season.
Not a chance.
Unless they literally tank until the trade deadline, there is not going to be a move for Tarasenko.
No, and or they get completely blown away with some kind of ridiculous offer, which is not going to happen. So,
yeah. Not
McDavid.
That this is, not that this has anything to do with Tarasenko, but did you see Strickland's tweet earlier tonight? Nashville shopping Forsberg.
Oh, I saw that. That's interesting.
That's kind of,
why is that?
That would be, yeah.
That's very interesting.
We'll ask Jeff to text Andy during the next commercial break and see if we can get the insider.
What's going
insider 3 R's.
Insider
info.
I try my best to only text him about very important stuff. So if you guys consider that very important, I'll shoot one over.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm interested. Don't get me wrong, but the Blues go into Toronto and beat the mighty Maple Leafs, and like I said, we said just like that, all the bullshit overreactions and awful takes after the Montreal game were just revealed as and they just kind of go away. Right? They just went away, revealed what they are. Husso was back in net, rightfully so. And if you know the Blues, you had to expect this kind of a game from them. They were going to be pissed at the effort they had in Montreal, and they were going to rise to the occasion and give Toronto a good game, and they did, and played more to how they're capable of playing. Less than 3 minutes in, Buchnevich scores on a textbook pass off pad from Kyrou, off the rush. Great quick shot by Buchnevich to bury it 1-0 Blues.
Something that I feel like doesn't get a lot of play, and it's because Buchnevich seems like he fits in anywhere in this lineup. I feel like him and Kyrou read each other very well. Like he can tell by Kyrou's language he's going to throw it at the net, and then vice versa. Like, Kyrou can read, well, he's going to try and feed me a pass across the crease rather than throwing at the net. Like it just seems like in the offensive zone, those two are just so in sync, and it's been fun to watch. I mean, basically two Blues newcomers, right? I mean, Kyrou, last year, rookie season, but seeing these two guys not on the Cup team and then having the success they're having is it's just really fun to watch.
Who did we trade to get him? I forget. I mean, social media never tells you this stuff.
Bill Day.
Samuel Blais.
Samuel Blais, you say? We don't have anymore? He's gone? Huh. I didn't notice.
He's gone.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known. No one ever says on social media that we traded Samuel Blais for Pavel Buchnevich.
Samuel
Blais.
Sorry.
Samuel.
Oh,
it's actually SAMYULE.
Somebody should remind the Twitter folks that who we traded, because people forget.
Jump on there and tell them right now.
Yeah, right.
Make sure you put a Rangers hashtag in there too, because
right. R.I.P.
They're happy about it too.
Or him, yeah, play season. Yeah, right. So and midway through the first period, Kostin makes it 2-0 on a well-placed shot, kind of handcuffed Leaf netminder Campbell a bit. I want to get your take on this, Bill, since I thought, being a forward, I thought, okay, Kostin has got a lane, clear look of the net. They're not taking him, so he can kind of try and pick his spot. Should Campbell have had this one? It was over the pad, under the blocker, kind of a handcuffy area, right?
Yeah, no, I mean those are the hardest places to make the save. I don't think he was that far off his angle, maybe slightly. Thought it was a great shot by Kostin. The kid's got skill. But yeah, anytime a shooter can put it at that 2.5 to 3 foot height off the ice, it's tough. It's tough. I should say 2 to 3 feet. That makes it very difficult for the goalie.
Not to completely derail the talk about this game, but Bill just mentioned, Kostin's got skill. Clearly NHL scouts see that. If, let's just say, the Blues have a chance to go out and get let's just say a Ben Chariot, whoever it is on defense, Mark Giordano, and you have to move Klim Kostin in that deal. Do you do it?
Is it a rental or is it
rental?
Rental? I might.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like Kostin. I think he's fit in very nicely. Okay. But he's not irreplaceable. He's a bottom 6 guy, right? So I mean,
I think he's great, and I think he's a guy that can potentially fill in on your top 6. But maybe, in terms of making a cup run and getting the last piece that I think this team needs, I'm okay moving him.
You've got to give to get, and he's not any kind of remarkable talent that you can't afford to lose. I mean, he's a replaceable guy, but. Yeah, and I'm happy for Kostin, actually, because I know how bad he wanted to play in the NHL, right, for a while, and he was disappointed he didn't make the team last season. But I mean, to see him get as much playing time as he has this season has kind of surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be consistently in the lineup like he is. Neil's long gone, so that was one less person for him to fight for ice time with. So yeah, Neighbors too, yeah. So I mean, I'm happy for him, and he's played well. He's been consistent. I think he's been responsible in our own zone for the most part, and he's chipped in a little bit offensively. I'd like to see his offensive game get a little more productive, but that's kind of the thing that comes with time with youngins like him, bottom 6 guys, like a Barbashev type player. His offensive stuff came a few years later, so.
Yeah, I mean, if he could get his defensive game as strong as Barbashev's was, he's got a much higher offensive upside. I think long term you don't want him slotting in your 4th line. Goal for him if he's not traded to bring in a defenseman. Gotta at least have him on your 3rd pair next year, or your 3rd grouping third pair.
I think so too. Yeah,
It's not a defense.
It's all right,
I think so.
I'm not talking defense.
It's all right. Nobody heard it.
He's got some skill. He's got some speed. I think he's more of a third line guy than a fourth line necessarily. So.
And you guys mentioned the Buchnevich trade for Samuel Blais.
That's right. I keep forgetting.
Remember that the Blues, according to a former Blues podcast, made a terrible trade in getting Oscar Sundqvist and Klim Kostin for Ryan Reeves.
Who said that? Who said that? What podcast said that?
Oh, come on. The wonderful and mighty intelligent Darren Kimball said this.
Did he really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show.
Well, that was about 200 shows ago. I don't know.
That's a while ago.
Kurt's been doing too much keyboard warrioring in between.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Keyboard warrior.
It doesn't surprise me.
You need to have that ready on drop at all times, Kurt.
I should. We don't do the drops on the show like we used to. The patch in is different. I should have my phone a panel ready to go. Really should.
You should.
I got too much stuff going on as it is. I'm running ads and promos and got the outline and I actually forgot to do the local backup.
Wearing a hat with a B on it.
So hopefully, wearing a hat with a B on it. Hopefully, YouTube and Facebook don't shit the bed as far as recording the show. But yeah, so after Kostin scores in this game, we're up 2-0. Toronto comes back with 2 goals by William Nylander to tie it up. One late in the first period, about 5 minutes to go, and then another early in the second, about 5 minutes in. Similar looking goals, just straight shots off the wing, far post both times. First was blocker side on Husso, and the second was glove. So, but the Blues ended up scoring 4 in the next 5 in this game to kind of put it away. Shen scored 29 seconds after Nylander. Great second effort, falling down, chipping in a rebound after some great work by Falk, bringing the puck up the ice.
Can't be understated how fucking hot Braden Shen is right now.
Oh, he's been
phenomenal. Over the ice, all over the net.
Ever since he came back from his injury, he's been pretty good.
Yeah,
maybe the Blues' best player.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there with Marco Scandella. I'm saying that because Scandella hasn't played, so he's been great.
Right. Yeah. Addition by subtraction.
He's played his role well.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a Louis Eriksson sighting.
I was just gonna say, did we just time warp back to 2007 because Louis Eriksson just scored?
Yeah. A quick score himself.
No, it's
Peterson.
I'm sorry, Peterson.
Yeah. Cal Peterson.
He's
Mike Yo's killer.
He
Cal Peterson
blocked that pass with a stick, and it went up and over him. I don't think it was touched by the Coyote player in front.
Mike Yo's killer. That's true. That's great.
TJ Brody scored for Toronto with 2:16 left in the second, so it was tied 3-3 going into the third. But the Blues scored 3 in the third. Goals from Saad, O'Reilly, and Buchnevich. Great passing play on Saad's goal. Very pretty. Parayko through traffic to Perron, then across the slot, through legs to Saad, who put it in an open side. And for Saad's 200th career goal, kudos to Campbell for damn near stopping this shot. The spin around, swinging a stick around, and he got a nice chunk of it, but it still went up and in the net.
That would have been a candidate for save of the year.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten a bigger chunk of that puck.
That's what I said on Twitter. I was like, that would have been that'd been a fantastic save.
Yeah.
O'Reilly then scores, tips a point shot by the shot by Mikla from the point, tips it by and then this goal was a little like Game 7, right? I mean,
that's exactly what I said to Julie.
Yeah,
that was Bouwmeester winding up from the point and O'Reilly tipping it between Rast's legs.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
O'Reilly's
out high
like that.
Yeah,
high
I said the same. I said the same thing to Julie when I rolled over later that night.
This is why we're secretly working to get you off the show.
Yeah, I know. It's not that secret, man. I know.
And then Buchnevich gets the empty net goal. Own zone face-off win right down the ice with Thomas on a 2-on-1 with 3:17 to go and ices the game. Didn't take long at all for this to go. Nice to see the Blues get the empty net goal. Times in the past where the Blues just could not score on empty net goal. Good to just get out of the way, over with. Suddenly, the bitching about the Montreal game has been silenced. So after this game was so funny. Only 2 power plays in this. Yeah,
that's what I said actually right after the Montreal game too. Is I said, just look, they're gonna fucking come out and they're gonna. Well, I said barnstorm Toronto, which they didn't. They good game, but all of a sudden it doesn't matter that they lost to Montreal because I said, and I said this on Twitter. I think I might even said this on the show that you have to get 2 out of 3 wins, right? There's 8 games this season, so 2 out of 3 wins on average throughout February, and I think you're golden. And so the fact they still got a point out of Montreal, then they win in Toronto, plus they'd beaten Ottawa. Now you're going into Philly, who's not playing well. It was like, guys, again, after the Montreal game, don't read too much into this. You're not going to win all 8 games unless you're just on a tear.
Wait, if they play like this in the playoffs, they're going to win the cup.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So why can't you use that
playing well
rationale after this game that people did after the Montreal game by saying, if they play this in the playoffs, they're not going anywhere. Well, if they play like this in the playoffs, they're going to go to the final.
Well, let's face it, it's also Toronto. So they beat Toronto, which means they get out of the first round.
Right.
Boom. Take that, Maple Leafs.
You know what's funny? I look forward to the playoffs each year, and I want Toronto to get in so I can watch them lose in the first round or second round. I just want to see it. It's comical to me. I don't really hate the Maple Leafs that much. I just like them, but I don't hate them with a passion like a lot of people do. I just think it's comical to see them lose in the playoffs like they do, with as much effort and time and money as they drop on coaches and players and stuff.
I'm going to guess Bill has a different take than you.
Oh, no. It's hey, it's predictable. It's bankable. They have not gotten a break when they've needed a break in the playoffs, and it's the second you see a break go for them, look out. They're going to run the table, but maybe they just can't get one.
Well, I think. And you could argue that that's the way the Blues were for a while. They just could not get the chips to fall in the same. You couldn't get things to line up, and you couldn't get the breaks needed that other teams got to advance. And the Blues did in 19. They got the breaks. They got the 50-50 bounces. So, I mean, if Toronto gets that, I agree with you, Bill. They have a very, very good team. So who knows? But I think it's comical that the same thing happens to them all the time. So only 2 power plays in this game. Both teams went 0-for-1. Thomas and Perron each had 2 assists. Buchnevich had 2 goals. Husso stopped 34-37. Toronto dominated the faceoff dot 62% to 38%, which this is a trend now. The Blues are sucking at the faceoff dot. And I'm not.
That is something that will rear its ugly head in the playoffs if it continues.
Can you imagine losing a couple of own zone faceoffs late in the game, trying to hold a lead or in a tie game? You're icing the puck and you just can't win a faceoff in your own zone. That's going to be rough. They need to clean that up.
Yep. Yeah. Get. I'm trying to think of Mike Eastwood. Get Mike Eastwood in as a face-off specialist, and get him to come in and work with the guys because they need to absolutely win some face-offs.
Well, with guys like Bozak is a historically very good face-off guy, and O'Reilly is too. But it's just not.
But he also wasn't playing in all these games,
right?
That they've been losing face-offs.
Yeah.
Right. Thomas has been taking a lot more.
Yeah.
O'Reilly, I think go back to that Ottawa game, and they were talking about how bad, I think it was Stutzla was, it was like less than 20%. And he won a draw against O'Reilly. And it's like, since then, the face-off percentage has just been shit.
I don't know. Got to figure it out. I mean, it's not, I mean, when I played, I took a shit ton of face-offs. I love taking face-offs. And, in the leagues I played in, I was not to my horn. I was very good at face-offs. I took pride in it. And just one of those things.
It was a craft.
It was a craft. It was an art. Yeah.
There's a reason why they have a thing as face-off specialists. Again,
yeah.
Mike Eastwood. That's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
Without his face-off skills, he's probably not playing in the NHL as long as he did.
God, he was slow. But anyway, hopefully they get that figured out. We'll talk about
just a quick little nugget of information. I can't remember who it was, but there was a coach once I remember talking that he loved when on and I don't know, it might have even been a minor league coach that on whenever they had a 5-on-3, he always had the defenseman take the face off. And they asked him after the game, God, I'm about to look this up. Why do you have defensemen taking face-offs? And he said defensemen are great at face-offs because they're used to tying up sticks. They're used to this. They're used to that. So, like, the better defensively that you are, the better you are at face-offs. And that just stuck with me. I mean, that was a very old quote that I remember reading when I was a kid, still trying to make the NHL, which is a dream that died a long time ago. But yeah,
that worked
and I remember
out for
thinking that.
And no
yeah, right. Yeah, look at me now. I have an NHL podcast. That's close enough, right? But yeah, it is interesting because when I do have to step up and take faceoffs when I play, I'm actually pretty good at them, and I'm like, that's weird. I've never practiced faceoffs. But it's the better. It really is. The better you are defensively, the better you are at faceoffs because you know how to read what a player is going to do, and so yeah, I just think again we've talked about Robert Thomas needing help defensively. That's part of it. I think I'd like to see him work on his faceoffs a little bit, and same thing with O'Reilly. Obviously, he's in a little bit of a rut faceoff wise, so hopefully these guys will pick it up by playoff time.
I used to cheat on faceoffs once in a while.
No.
Yeah.
Kurt cheat?
No. When I would
spinning your right skate in.
No.
With your.
No, I didn't encroach that way. What I would do is every once in a while I'd try to win the faceoff forward if the defense was back a little bit, or if they were spread out too far side to side. And I thought, if I can bump it forward and dart through the middle, and I've had this happen. I dart through the middle, breakaway. Happened before. So I would hit the puck before it hit the ice. It would come down. I would tap it out of midair over the opponent's stick, and then boom, it's past him, and I'm gone.
Kids, that is cheating.
Yeah, it was very cheating. It has to hit the ice first. But and it was never called on me. I did that every so often, and it was never called. They did. I mean, it's men's league, so they don't care.
Oh, men's league, they don't care.
Yeah,
it's funny because every now and then I will have a referee like blow the play dead after a false face-off, and everybody's like, "Come on, man, really?" Like even the team that lost the face-offs, like, "Really? Come on, man, we don't care. Let's just go."
Next up, we'll talk about the Bennington returning to net against Philadelphia, and Mike Yeo behind the bench to coach against the Blues, which was weird. After this word from Sunrise Brewery. Do you like hockey? No, of course you do. Do you like beer? Of course you do. Are you 21? Well, let's hope so. If you answered yes to all of those questions, run on down to your local beer distributor and pick up a 2-4 of Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, or any other delicious hockey-themed beer from Sunrise Brewery. That's right, Sunrise Brewery beer is available at various beer stores around town, so check around for the one closest to you. That's Sunrise Brewery. Let's go Blues. I don't know why, but the term beer store makes me laugh.
Beer store. Yeah,
it just does.
That. By the way, do you say 2-4 in that commercial?
It's from I get it from Strange Brew. 2-4 Elsinore.
See, I need to see that. I've never seen it, and you
You've
guys
never seen
reference
Strange
it
Brew?
all the time. Yeah, you guys talk about it all the time.
He's never seen Strange Brew.
I need to see it.
Oh my goodness!
I know. I'm a terrible.
Oh my goodness!
Wish to be Canadian.
Jeff was asking about the 2-4 reference in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard it called a 2-4 before. It's always 2x4.
Yeah, we bought this 2-4 of Elsinore from your beer store.
All right, all right. I'm gonna make it.
You got it from the beer store.
I am going to make it a priority this weekend. I am going to watch Strange Brew.
It's a campy.
Yeah,
the era it's made 80s, 70s, right? So
yeah, it was 80s. It was early 80s.
Early 81.
Yeah, I know the movie. I just haven't seen it. My dad loved it. I remember him talking about it.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Take off hoser.
Brilliant.
That's where the takeoff hoser comes from. And takeoff hoser's in the intro. Our Canadian voiceover actress.
Take off hosers.
Take off hosers. Yeah, that's from that.
I do love Rick. I do love Rick Moranis, so I think I will enjoy it.
I don't think I've seen the movie in probably 5, maybe 10 years at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But it's one of those that I could still quote pretty much most of it.
Yeah, especially if it's on.
Well, there you go, guys. Ken Morris is he's backing you up here. He says 2-4 is a common lingo in Nova Scotia.
I figured it was common
Nova
lingo.
Scotia.
The
Let me
Great
say it
White
correctly.
North.
Sorry.
The Great White
Right.
North.
The Great White North.
And the beer store is a real thing.
The beer store.
It just makes me laugh. The beer store.
You used to not be able to buy beer at a grocery store in Canada. You had to go to the beer store or to the liquor control board.
That's how Texas, a lot of Texas counties are. When I lived down there, I was amazed that I went to a Kroger. I remember I felt like such an alcoholic. I walked around the store over and over and over. And finally this guy, because I'm not kidding, I probably walked around 6 times. And finally this guy stops me. He goes, you need something, sir? You look a little lost. And I go, yeah, where's your alcohol section? He goes, oh, sir, you're in a dry county. And I'm like, a dry? Those still exist?
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, yeah, you have to go to a liquor store to get beer. And I'm like, what backwards ass town am I living in? Like, are you kidding me?
There's a number of them. I mean, it's such a weird concept in Dry County just to not sell alcohol. Is it still the case where Jack Daniels is the distillery
in a dry county?
It's a dry county, yeah, where they make it.
Yep.
Which is odd.
That's very odd.
You can make it there, but you can't sell it.
You can profit off it.
Sure.
But you can't enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm sure the tax revenue is profitable. Bennington returns to the net versus Philadelphia. This was on Tuesday night.
A game I should have attended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You got screwed.
So
thanks, Gary.
Quick note on this game. I felt so bad for my in-laws, and they are just wonderful people. So quick backstory for anybody who maybe didn't hear me talk about this before. For Christmas, this was a present we got from my in-laws. They were going to go with us. They were going to fly us out to Philly, and we were going to see a game. Well, this game was one of the ones that got rescheduled. It was supposed to be next Monday, the 28th, but they pushed it up to this Tuesday. My wife could not take off work today, so we couldn't go. We got refunded on the airline tickets, got refunded on the hotel, but could not get refunded on the game tickets. So because the Flyers suck, we could not sell these tickets because you can't get a refund. Even if they reschedule, it's in the fine print for any ticket you buy. Keep that in mind. Even if they reschedule the game, you cannot get a refund. So we put them on StubHub, hoping to make something back. Let's just put it like this. We had 5 tickets. We made back about the money for 1 ticket. We lost a lot of money in the deal. And I felt so bad because my mother-in-law put me in charge of it. And I must have told her 1,000 times, I'm so sorry we didn't get enough money back. And she goes, it's okay. No big deal.
It's okay.
And like,
you just won't get Christmas next year.
No, she really honestly did not care. And then I talked to my father-in-law, same thing. Oh, no big deal. I know the Flyers suck. No one wants to go see them play. And I'm like, how are you so nonchalant about this? If this were my money, I'd be flipping the fuck out. So, sucks. But keep that in mind for the future. Anybody listening, that no matter what happens, when you buy tickets to a game, if it gets rescheduled, you do not get refunded. You still are expected to go to that game.
Seems wrong.
It does.
Ken Morris in YouTube chat says, in Nova Scotia, beer can only be bought at the NS liquor store run by the government.
Nova Scotia.
What did I say?
Nova Scotia. NS. Right.
Oh, okay.
You said it right.
Okay. Sorry.
You read verbatim.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Unlike the fine state of Maine, where you can buy beer at the gas station. Yeah, you can.
You can do that here in Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah, you can buy it. You might be able to buy it at the dollar store before too long.
I think you can. Don't they have beer there? Or no, they don't.
I don't know. I don't go there.
At Walgreens has it now too.
Yeah, Walgreens definitely has it.
I go to the dollar store for like birthday cards and stuff. I'll be damned if I'm paying $7 for a birthday card at Target. Screw that. It's a fucking birthday card. They read it and throw it away. $7. Boom. $6.
Fuck that.
But I'm willing to pay that premium to not go to the dollar store.
Fuck that.
I've spent more money to get less.
You've spent more money on cards to get less?
It's a bad joke about hookers. You don't need to. We don't need to revisit it.
No. on the beer store talk, when we used to go up and visit Julie's family, when her family still resided in Canada, that used to be my favorite thing every time. Oh, we got to go to the beer store. And I have a couple of can koozies from the beer store.
Nice.
Bill,
and if you wanted the hard stuff, you had to go to the liquor control board. So, yeah, couldn't get them at the same place. That was great.
There are a lot of awesome things about Julie, but I will say my favorite thing about her is that she's Canadian. That makes me love her so much.
Hey, me too.
A good Canadian girl.
Get yourself a good Canadian girl.
Yeah. Actually, it was the first thing I noticed about her was the accent.
Yep.
Toronto area, right?
London. From London, Ontario, home of the London Knights.
Wait, that's in Britain.
They do have a Thames River.
Great Britain. Don't sell it short.
Oh, sorry. Poor Queen has COVID. Did you hear that?
I did.
That sucks.
She vaccinated?
She damn well better be.
You think that she would?
Boris Johnson's your prime minister.
She's what, 214? She better be vaccinated.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Who knows? Martin Jones was in goal for Philadelphia. Carter Hart was out with an eye infection. Whatever that means.
Which, when I heard that, Was that not like, did you guys not do the same thing I did? They were like, oh, yeah, he's out with an eye infection. I go,
yeah. I'm like, well, it's all pussy and I'm thinking pink eye, right? It's got to be pink eye.
Right. That's exactly it. It's pink eye.
He's got shit in his eye.
Scapeo gave me pink eye.
He got shit in his eye.
Exactly. You have to go to the second South Park episode ever, right?
Yep.
Or was it the second episode? It was the first Halloween.
No,
episode.
I think I think it was the first episode. They brought me up on the ship. And Scapeo gave me pink eye.
That may be it.
Yeah.
I just referenced that last week because it's the one. Yeah, so the zombies came about because they used Worcestershire sauce for embalming fluid. It clearly says on the bottle, "Don't use as embalming fluid."
Right, obviously. Surgeon General warning. Right. The Nova Scotia, the Nova Scotia liquor. Was it liquor board? The government board? What is it? The board? The beer board? What'd you call it?
LCBO. Well, that was in Ontario. Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
Yeah, clearly. First period of this game was rather meh. Although Shen scored to put the Blues up 1-0. Kyrou hits the post on a rush. Barbashev gets the rebound, and Jones makes a nice sprawling save with a stick. But Shen chips the rebound over Jones. Puck leads the one in. Ref missed it. Said no goal. Review showed obviously it went in. So
did you guys? And we're not just trying to be elitist here. I have to actually ask. Did you guys see it and go, "Oh, that's a goal"? What the hell?
I thought it went.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it's HD TV. I'm sure in standard definition we wouldn't have seen it, but you clearly see the puck go in the net. And it was for me. I'm like, he's standing right behind the net. How did he not see that?
I think he was more towards the corner. Maybe his angle was off. I don't know. The way it hits the back bar.
I thought he was right behind the net.
I don't think he was right.
He was.
He was right behind. I thought he was off to the side.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, hockey's a very fast sport. I'm not trying to chastise the referee, but I just saw that and I thought, if I can tell from where I'm sitting on my couch, he should be able to have seen that puck go in the net. It was just kind of crazy he didn't see it, but they got it right at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Ken Morris in the YouTube chat says, All in the Family. Oh, he deleted the last message. All in the Family had an episode where Archie mistakenly sent a shipment to London, UK, meant for London, Ontario. And then he deleted the next message. If I can recall what it said, he goes, who names a city after London? Okay, he goes, Archie complained, who names a city after London? Edith said, New York did. New York, New York.
Ha!
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good point.
Good, he put it back up before it got too awkward. So I would not have remembered that. So 1-0 after the first. Blues rather dominated the second period, had the better of the play easily. I thought no goals were scored.
So did this not feel reminiscent of the last time the Blues were in Philadelphia? And that was kind of the theme of this game,
with
right?
Binnington in net, right? Yeah, he's returning the net.
Yeah, the start of Binnington, because they won that one, 1-0?
Was it 1-0? I think he shot the shutout. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a 1-0 game. I'd have to check to make sure.
But
right. But it was a game where it was like,
yep,
there's chances both ways. Both teams really not taking control. Although I thought the Blues played a lot better than the Flyers did in this game.
I did too.
But it was a game that just kind of felt, people talk about the trap game, that this is a game where you should win, you overplay them, and they're going to just score one squeaky goal that's going to, lead them to victory. But I felt confident in this game. I know that Binnington's had his struggles and his issues. I don't know. Maybe it was just the fact of returning to Philadelphia, seeing all the, for example, by the way, what I loved seeing, I don't know if you guys follow that, is it Jack's NYB, the bar?
Yeah.
That they heard Gloria. So they were on Twitter and they posted like Blues at Flyers tonight, like come on out and celebrate with us. And like, I looked and like all the people responding saying they were going to be there were all posting like, I'll be there. Let's go Blues. And I thought, so many Philadelphia fans have become Blues fans. I think that's so awesome. It's
don't
so
sell
much fun to watch.
Just don't sell a Play Gloria shirt; they'll sue you.
Yeah, right.
Was it STL Authentics? No, it was.
I thought it was. Was it not Center Ice?
No. Center Ice. They were friends.
They
with
collaborated with them.
Yeah, they sued one of the big T-shirt manufacturers, the sporty T-shirt hip places, and they sued them for
Hot Topic.
No, it was St. Louis based.
It might have been STL Authentics. I can't remember.
Been.
It was definitely a city or a company out here.
Yeah, they're the ones that also like invited Dave Portnoy from Barstool there, and they like drooled all over him when he came there. It was sickening. But yeah. So anyway, they got sued by the bar.
this was a kind of just a fun, almost nostalgic game. And so you did feel like, okay, the Blues, they've got to break through at some point, right? Like they're controlling the play. They've had some great offensive zone pressure. I thought the line changes the second period were great in the sense of they weren't getting stuck out there at all. There was no sustained pressure by Philadelphia too bad. And you just kept thinking they're gonna break through, right? Eventually. And well, I don't know if I'm segueing or not, but they did.
Yeah. Well, and the Flyers in the third period I thought they took it to the Blues. They pressured the Blues from the get-go in the third. And 8:09 into the third, Husso lost a shutout as Oscar Lindblom got his 8th of the season. Careless turnover in the offensive zone, and Philly darted back the other way. Yeah, Cairo. Yeah. The Flyers didn't get a shot away on the rush in the blue zone, but they curled back to the point, and Lindblom let up a shot go that had eyes, as they say, right? Must have went through 3 players under an arm, and they were all screening Husso. He didn't see it and beat him upper glove.
Bennington.
I'm sorry, Bennington. Yeah, never saw it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was reminiscent of that early stretch in the season where teams would pick him from that spot. Right, it happened in the Hurricanes game. Get the puck down low, chip it back to the point, and put some traffic in front from that angle shot coming from the point and goes in. I think they said it was Bortuzzo and Shen cut off his clear vision on the shot. So Pang made the statement, never had a chance, which I hate that.
I do too.
I hate that, especially coming from a goalie.
Yeah.
Saying a goalie never had a chance when there was a chance you could stop that.
It's always a chance.
Throw the glove at the right second, but yeah, I got a little uneasy when I saw that go in. Like the boys need to respond.
Yeah,
the boys need to respond.
Yeah, quick. And this was a goal that, like, it's been, there really wasn't. I mean, in terms of being able to see the puck and be able to actually make the save and know he's made the save, there wasn't a chance for Bennington here. So to see the puck go through the bodies it did, it was just one of those kind of, oh, God damn it, you got to be kidding me. Right. The Blues have played so well. They played great defensively. Just one of those shots that just goes through. You hope it's going to hit one of your defensemen. You hope maybe it hits your goalie somehow and deflects wide. Yeah.
That's hockey.
Yeah. That's what happened.
And I kind of saw it coming because the third period, Philly had played well, and they were coming to the Blues. So they were.
It's one of those things that, and I'm not trying to compare the teams, but I'm saying there was a game, I remember, I think it's the biggest margin of victory ever. It was like 32-1, in hockey history. And it's like, how did that team get the 1? Like, and it's because it's hockey. Every now and then you'll just have a puck go through bodies and the goalie doesn't see it. It just makes it way through. And that's what happened here.
That goal by Philly seemed to spark the Blues because they looked different right off the face-off. They attacked the zone. 42 seconds later, a goal by Tarasenko. Nice look by Thomas from behind the net to sliding Tarasenko, who put it low by Jones, and just like that, got the lead right back. It's kind of weird. It's almost like the Blues were like, okay, we'll just hold on for the win. They're coming at us, whatever, we'll win. And then they tied it, and the Blues were like, well, nope. Or we need to play again.
It was frustrating for me because, like, they scored that goal, and because there were so many plays. I remember there was I think it was a 3-on-1 with, I think it was was it Tarasenko, Kyrou, and Thomas, where Thomas makes the extra pass and it just doesn't work. And it's like, if he just would have one-timed the puck off the pass from Kyrou, whoever it was, maybe it goes in, maybe you get a rebound and somebody's there to pot in the rebound. And there's just so many chances the Blues had where it felt like they were overpassing. And so then they score this goal and it's like, oh, so it's almost like if the Blues actually shot the damn puck, they could just dominate this game. So it was frustrating, but at the same time, it was nice to see that the Blues responded so quickly. they got the ozone pressure and they just pushed and pushed and pushed, and then there's your sniper right there to bury a one-timer.
Early in this, go ahead, Bill.
I was just going to say, on that play, one thing I didn't think got pointed out enough is the amazing pass that Mikko Mikkola made on that play. Just behind the back, between the legs, off the boards
on the
to
near board
Thomas.
corner. Yeah.
Just absolutely brilliant play. I mean, he's supposed to be a defensive defenseman, and he's down in the corner making that skill play. Thought it was brilliant.
I think earlier in this game, Pang started to harp on the Blues for overpassing and making one too many passes. And as the game went along, yeah, they were. But the very first time he said it in this game, they made an extra pass, but it was the right play. They had a great scoring opportunity, but the shot was flubbed. It was a perfect setup, great bang bang bang, and a good scoring opportunity was passed up for a better one that should have been a goal, but the shot was flubbed. And Pang said, "One too many passes. You gotta get that on net." And I'm like, that wasn't one too many. To me, one too many passes results in you not getting a shot away, right? Where you had a great chance, decided to pass, don't get a shot away at all, or it's a much, much worse scoring opportunity, right? Which the Blues did end up doing a lot of. They were overpassing in this game, passing up some good scoring chances and not getting any. So, but I thought that was funny the first time it happened. I'm like, nah, that was a pretty good scoring chance. But then I'm like, okay, well, yeah, they keep doing this. It's not working out. And then let's see, Barbashev and Saad scored empty net goals, which inflated the final score to 4-1. When it was really much closer than that. Not the best effort, but a win nonetheless. A better effort than in Montreal, but not near as good as in Toronto. So Blues were killed to the faceoff out again.
The biggest key here for me was play for your goaltender. I mean, how many times have we seen over the years since the Cup win, Jordan Binnington stole this game. Blues don't win without Jordan Binnington playing so well. And this is a point, and I think I said this the last time he started with New Jersey, play for your goalie. He's struggling. He hasn't won a game in more than a month, right? Like, you gotta put some goals on the board, control the puck, play a simple game if you have to, keep the shot count low, do whatever you can to make sure your goalie can try and get that victory and get his self-esteem up. So this game, again, not their best effort, not the best game of the season, but they played well enough to win. They let Binnington, except for the one goal, see most of the shots. I think there was a lot of luck in this game. They hit Philadelphia hit at least 2 crossbars.
They hit 2 or 3 posts, and they missed 2 wide open nets.
Right, and there was some luck in this.
Yeah, I thought.
But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I thought that we'll talk about Binnington, his play in this game. They were raving about his play. I thought he played well, but I mean, 2 or 3 posts and a couple of missed open nets, they could have scored 3 or 4 goals on him. So I mean, when I heard them talking about it, I'm like, I mean, yeah, you're always going to hit posts. You're always going to miss scoring chances. It happens every goal, every game. But it seemed like Giroux had one, right? A wide open net, and he just not a wide open net, but a good chance, open side kind of, and shot it wide. And then another happened, it was flubbed. There was a post shot, crossbar shot. So yeah, I mean,
and they had a breakaway there in the first period.
Yeah, and 2 breakaways, right? The one was a really nice save by Binnington, who early in the game he slid across, into the pad save. That was nice. Looked calm and net. I thought it looked good.
Bill, you're muted, by the way. We can't hear you.
I thought he looked good. I thought that
there you are.
We were like you said, Jeff. We were lucky that a few of those didn't go in.
Yeah. No, it was the Willman breakaway. It was the Nordstrom style save from Game 7 against Boston, right? And then Lindblom had the breakaway. crazy that, defenseman getting a breakaway, but it was, both very big saves, and I think it set the stage for the Blues to have confidence and to want to play for him. I thought that they built from there. But yeah, to Kurt's point, Giroux missing the wide open net, just he got bounces, right? That was the thing. He got the bounces,
which is fine. But next game,
Bill, I would normally let this fly, but you said Lindblom, he's a forward.
Is he?
I thought he was. I think the reason that you think that is because
he scored from the point.
Former Blues great, Terry Lindblom.
Yeah,
possibly,
maybe.
But he scored from the point. He scored from the point in this game, and I purposely don't watch Flyers games.
I think Flyers fans are the same.
Apparently, if you can't sell the tickets back.
Right. Oh, God damn right. I even have a coworker that works in Philadelphia, and I even asked her, I go, do you just want the tickets? And she goes, honestly, if they were better, yeah, I'd take them, but no, I'm good. And I'm like, it's 15 rows from the ice, and I'm offering you tickets. Just take them.
Man, if you don't mind seeing bad hockey, it's a good time to be a Flyers fan. Just
2006, somebody offers me tickets to a game, I'm still going. I don't care.
Sure. I had season tickets.
Yeah, I did too.
That year.
I did too.
Yep.
So, yeah. But yeah, so a win nonetheless. Like I mentioned, the Blues were killed at the faceoff dot again in this game, 67% to 33. That's sooner or later this is gonna cost us a game. So only 3 power plays in the game.
Maybe that's the trade we need to make. Face-off specialist.
Or face-off specialist.
Yeah.
A younger Tyler Bozak.
Mike Sillinger.
Mike Sillinger.
Who was the guy the Blues got in 06? He had a really crazy name. Started with a Z. Zigomanis. Mike Zigomanis.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a blast.
Digging into the archives for that.
Jesus.
That's right.
They'll play 14 games for us.
I kept wanting to say Mika Zibanejad, but I'm like, no, it's like the North American version of that.
How many games do you play for us? Take a stab.
18. I'll say 18.
Bill?
I'm gonna go 9.
I gotta look it up now. 9?
Keep going. I'll look it up.
I said 14.
I'll look it up.
I just threw. Okay. That's Paul's name. So part of I-6440 was renamed a stretch of Interstate I-6440. How many, Jeff?
We are all way off.
Oh.
He played in 2 games.
Oh. Well, who had the lowest? Bill said 9.
Me.
Bill said 9.
Me. I had single digits.
But Price is Right. Price is Right rules. Bill. Price is Right rules. We all lose.
Yep.
Should be $1. 2 games. Wow. A stretch of Interstate 6440 in downtown St. Louis has been renamed the Bobby Plager Memorial Highway in honor of the late blues legend. Signs exist between Jefferson Avenue and Tucker Boulevard near the Enterprise Center. A bill proposing to rename the stretch of highway was first introduced by Missouri Representative Nick Schroer in May of 2021, just 2 months after Plager passed away at the age of 78. So, was it you, Jeff, that had a problem with renaming highways and stuff after players? Was that you?
No, that wasn't me.
Somebody said, who was that? I was talking to somebody. Didn't like it when McGuire was the highway named after him. Who was that?
I don't. What does it matter? Like, I don't see why people would care.
I don't know.
It's not like your GPS is like, oh, you're now exiting Highway 70 and going on Mark McGuire Highway.
They took that down too, didn't they? The Mark McGuire.
Yeah, they did.
That's unceremoniously, right?
We had this conversation, I think, like last week.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was you that said that you didn't care for that. Brett Holway. No, you didn't like Brett Holway being renamed. You said
I didn't like Brett Holway. No.
That's what I was getting. Okay, that's what I was getting. Okay.
The only reason I didn't like that was because it was just like, oh, God, the Blues are awful. Brett Hull. We got to do everything with Brett Hull. Retire his number, get a statue, rename the street. Like, I thought it was just way overdone. That's the only reason I had a problem with it.
I wonder if the sign will be stolen. I hope not. And Emile Francis.
Not for Bobby.
Probably not. Although you never know. Emile Francis, former Blues GM and coach, passed away at 95 the other day. Was this 2 days ago? Monday? Was that Monday it happened?
It was Monday. Yeah.
Former coach, general manager, and current Hockey Hall of Famer Emile the Cat Francis passed away Saturday at the age of 90. I wonder. I haven't read why he was called the Cat. Do we know this? How he got that nickname?
I think he in a past life was a cat.
Yeah, well, that's. See, I thought you were gonna come up with something clever.
No. Oh, that's not clever at all.
So
he invented the cat eye cage.
I'm guessing no, but Mr. Francis joined the St. Louis Blues in 1976 and served as executive vice president, general manager, and coach during his time with the Blues, which lasted until 1983. Under Francis, the Blues set a team record with 107 points during the 80-81 season, which stood until the team won the President's Trophy with 114 points in the 99-2000 season. Federico said of Emile Francis, Mr. Francis was such a tremendous competitor. No one wanted to win more than he did. He gave everything he had to build the Blues into a Stanley Cup contender. We all had so much respect for Mr. Francis, and I've never met anyone who was as honest with all of us as he was. He had so much fire in him that motivated us, all of us, each and every day. He was one of a kind and will never be replaced. Mr. Francis was the most loyal man I ever met, and he played such a huge role in my career and my life. I will always be grateful for his friendship and his fatherly advice. So, wow, Federico apparently has some very nice things to say about him, and remember him quite fondly. I'll always remember him from. I didn't remember it at the time because it was a little before my time as far as being a Blues fan goes. But his commercial is the late 70s, I guess it was, where he said that we're putting the check back in the Checker Dome. Remember that? That's my remembrance of him from the Blues. Go ahead, Bill.
I was gonna say I know the soundbite. I know the quote. I didn't know that was Francis.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I got the link there in the notes if you want to take a look at it. In 778 games behind the bench, Francis went 388, 273, and 117 in 13 seasons with the Blues and the Rangers. He reached the Stanley Cup playoffs 11 of his 13 seasons. Mr. Francis also served as the general manager of the Rangers from 64 to 76 and the Whalers from 83 to 89. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame as a builder in 1982. So, that's I remember him from media guides and stuff like that, and since YouTube came along, that commercial. But like I said, he left in 83. So that was like right before I really got into watching hockey. So,
well,
what's funny
it makes a lot more sense to me, Mike Liut going to Hartford, right? GM wants his guys, and Liut was the backbone of that 107 point team. So bring him in. Damn you, Emile Francis.
Yeah, what's funny is, and this just shows, I guess, kind of my age. When I saw that, because I was watching, I think it was like NHL Network, and it popped up with the breaking news, Emile Francis dead at 95. I was like, and it said Francis served as Rangers GM from, whatever the years you said was, worked with the Whalers, said nothing of the Blues. And I again, showing my age, I'm like, was there two Emile Francises? Because for me, I know him as, the Blues guy, you hear the name Emile Francis, you think St. Louis Blues. And so I had to look it up, and I was like, oh no, that's the same guy. He was just successful elsewhere.
Yeah. And
that's where, NHL Network kind of drew from his success. So yeah, I've heard a lot of stories. We've heard stories on this show about Emile Francis from, you mentioned Federico, and from others that we've had on the show. So, are a real shame to lose a guy like that, but happy to hear from what I've read that it's, just natural causes, wasn't anything severe, anything crazy.
95 too.
95. He lived a great
up
life.
There. Yeah. I mean, you look back on, I'm sure he did, right? Look back on, it's like, man, I had a pretty fucking cool life, So, rapid fire tidbits from around the NHL. We got one here. Nathan MacKinnon looked like Nathan MacKinnon slashed an official off a face-off.
Kurt, I'm gonna surprise you that we have two. But
we have two. Oh,
this is our first one.
Okay,
it's okay. We'll talk about the first one.
So let me pull it up here. Let's see. So MacKinnon got a lot of play online after a face-off, and I look at the replay again at full speed. It looks like he slashes him in the leg. Playing the Bruins, face-off at center. MacKinnon gets a little roughed up on the face-off, gets upset, and it's hard to tell if he's mad at the Bruins player or the official or both. And it looks like he takes a whack at the official's leg, and when you slow it down, it shows him smacking the ice. But it's funny how this kind of snowballed, and everyone was calling for him to be suspended because Vermette was suspended back. I don't know how long ago that was. 20 games for slashing an official in a very similar situation. Off a face-off, slashed him, and got 20 games. So,
we got a lot to say about this, I'm sure, but I just want to add Ken Morris, the hockey historian he is, gave us some great insight here about why Emile Francis was known as the Cat. Same as Felix Potvin. He was a goalie and moved like a cat.
I was going to
Emile tended goal for the Blackhawks and the Rangers.
Okay. I was going to mention he was probably a goalie. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. But anyway, so with this play with MacKinnon, when I first saw it in real time, my thought was, holy shit, suspend that guy 20 games.
Yep.
And my thought after that was, they're not going to because it's Nathan MacKinnon.
Right.
If this was, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of just a random NHLer, Nola Char.
Antoine Vermette.
Zigomanis.
Mike Zigomanis. Mike Eastwood. If it were somebody like that, I'm like, they would throw the book at him. But I'm like, it's MacKinnon. He's not getting shit. And then I saw the NHL come out and say, no, we're not suspending him. But I'll say, and Kurt, I know you brought up with us before the show something you saw and something that, broke down the play. Even if, I got to mention it. So even if he would have touched the official, which he didn't. If you watch it on slow motion, he actually didn't. He hit the ice. I still don't think he gets a suspension. I think that's still a play where he's going for the puck and the official just happens to be there. You guys might disagree with me on that. I don't think he was slashing at the official. And clearly, I don't know. I just feel like in that play, that's a face-off. The official's there. He's going to hit the official. It happens. You watch the Vermette play. That was a clear slash on the official.
The puck is nowhere near.
No, it was a retaliation swing, right?
Yeah,
he's
the player.
He's not
at the player.
At the player, and he hit the official.
But
I don't think it was.
It looked like he hit the official, right?
It did.
Right.
From the naked eye, full speed, first time watching, it looked like in retaliation, trying to hit the player who had skated away already, he swung his stick and hit the official, but he didn't hit the official.
Yeah. And I'll say that I think intent of trying to hit the player, that does change it a little for me. If he does hit the official there. But again, at the end of the day, he ended up actually not hitting the official.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can see why there's some gray area, even if he did hit the official, because he was going for the player. Not saying that's okay. Just saying I don't think he was going for the official.
Right. He doesn't get 20 games for sure because he's Nathan MacKinnon, but just with the lack of intent, he gets a game or two max, probably just a fine. But
yeah, I'm not even sure he was going for the player. It doesn't look like he was. I mean, it kind of does, but he's not even close. He misses him by a lot.
No, and that was kind of the shocking thing to me. Like, why did it take him so long to swing? Maybe he was just slamming his stick in frustration.
I think it was that he thought the Bruins player, it was an illegal faceoff, cheated on the faceoff, and they won the draw. He lost it. He was pissed, and at the official, because he puts his arms up at the official, and he slams the ice down. He slams the ice down right by the official, and I think it was hey. Like, he slams the stick down right by the official to get the official's attention, saying, "Hey, I'm pissed at you for not calling this." And that's my take on it, because he gets roughed up on the face-off, and he puts his hands up a little bit. That's the way I see it. So I don't think he was swinging at the player.
Cheating on this face-off?
Yeah, it might have been. There's a 2 in the jersey. It's 62 or 82. 62.
Adam Gold in the Facebook chat says, if it was Kadri... ...
Yeah, no kidding. Right?
Yeah, maybe. And it's funny that Adam Gold says that, because Adam, correct me if I'm mistaken. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Adam has been reprimanded in one of my leagues for being too aggressive on face-offs. So I could be wrong on that. Maybe that was someone else, but I feel like that was you.
I've had some knockdown, drag-out face-offs too. Most of them, guys don't care. They got their stick down. Some guys that take face-off against, they don't give a shit, and they're easy to win them against. But some guys bear down, and you'll butt heads, slam shoulders. It gets violent sometimes, and I'm surprised my stick didn't break in half more often, because you get your stick whacked hard. Sean Avery signs a comeback contract with the Orlando Solar Bears. Is this news today? Because I didn't know about that.
This is today.
Yeah. He's 41 years old.
41 years old. Yeah, he came out.
They need somebody to stand in front of the goalie.
This week. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I did that. I did that once.
Did you?
The Sean Avery to a friend that was in goal in a men's league game, and he's like, "You got to be fucking kidding me, dude! Don't do that." Like, he was actually like, "That's not cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, sorry."
It's a good way to get your ass beat. Oh my god! Oh my god! You get your ass beat.
But no, it was announced. It was earlier this week, or maybe late last week, that he was making an NHL comeback, and I'm like, it wasn't like he left because he was just like, "Oh, I'm going to pursue other things like Alexander Daig or something." He left at a reasonable age. He wasn't effective anymore. He wasn't.
How long has it been? Like 7 years, 8 years? It's been a while.
At least.
It's 10. I think it's been 10 years. Yeah. And
it's
I saw somebody.
He wasn't good when he left.
Right. And somebody tweeted that, so a couple of tweets I saw about it, did he dive into the Hudson River and swim to the bottom to get his skates? Because there was that whole thing with him when he retired. He threw his skates in the river. But then somebody who he's apparently been playing beer league with, like, guys at 10 pack a day guy, couldn't even catch a pass in beer league last night. Now he's signed to a professional contract. I still have a chance at the NHL.
Well, maybe get some fans in the stands.
Right. And that was the thing. It's a publicity stunt. And the Solar Bears tonight even tweeted at Matt Barnaby, "Your move, Barnaby."
Yeah. Yeah, because Barnaby said that he would sign with any rival of the Solar Bears, just so he could play against Avery. Which
what I like?
Hilarious.
I always hated Sean Avery, but when the Blues were in the Cup final against Boston, he was rooting for the Blues, and he put stuff on Instagram and videos and stuff about him, kind of like, criticizing Boston, rooting for the Blues, stuff like that. Thought that was that was kind of fun to see. Not that I make me like him anymore, but I was like, oh, he's I guess I like him a little more now than in this moment. But
there was a lot of people rooting for the Blues, which
oh god,
I appreciated.
I think,
and you'll see the same thing with Vancouver or Buffalo if they ever get another chance. Vancouver.
Yeah, I think anybody outside of Boston was rooting for St. Louis. I mean, I told you I got comments at Disney. I was at Disney for games 5 and 6, and wearing Blues gear around the park and stuff. There's so many comments. Beat Boston. I got a lot of Go Blues, right? But there were a lot of beat Boston too. So anybody but Boston. I had a Penguins fan. Long conversation. Anybody but Boston, man. It was great.
So Adam Gold does clarify with his Facebook on the Facebook chat about his face-off issue. The official told me not to let my stick handle hit him on the face-off. My stick was on the rink, not hovering high. I have a short stick. I told him to keep his head up. I didn't touch him. It's an issue with him, not me.
Wow.
The only issue... The only thing I'll say about that, and this goes for all kids and beer leaguers as well, I was told a long time ago that officials are told if one guy is giving you trouble, I don't care if he says one thing to you, and this is by all rink owners, by all head officials, just kick him out because
never happened.
You're not paid well enough to deal with it.
Never happened to me.
And it's unfortunate. I had a friend on my ice hockey team who literally was just asking the ref, what's the deal? Why did you call a penalty on me on that? And he just told him, get in the box and shut up, which to me is the worst thing to say to a player, right? You don't say that because it's going to set him off, right? And so he's like, come on, man, just tell me. And he just kept saying that. And the referee kicks him out. And it's like, what do you expect, man? When you won't even respond to him, what do you expect? At least give him a response.
I treated the officials like shit.
You did?
I did. Yeah, you know that. It was.
Do you remember the time that I accidentally knocked Tyson over at Oak Hill?
Oh, maybe I might.
I skated really hard at him and kind of stumbled when I got close to him and knocked him down. Oh, sorry, man. Didn't mean
to.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyson was an official. Yeah,
he was the good one.
Yeah. There weren't too many good ones.
Yeah, there were a few.
I felt bad. We had a game a couple weeks ago where it was a kid. It's like his second or third game as an official. And I actually can't remember what the call he made was, but it was a bad call. And I could tell he was just ready to deal with some asshole coming and yelling at him. So the face-off happens and puck goes down the other way. And like I said, I'm a defenseman. And so I look over at him and I just go, first game, huh? Because the other ref had told me oh yeah, this is his first or second game. And so I go, oh, first game, huh? And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, what's it to you? And I just go, no. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm actually asking you. This is one of your first games. He's like, oh, yeah. It's one of my first games. And I was just like, yeah, seriously, not trying to be an asshole. That's just what I was told. I was like, how you liking it? And we started having a conversation. I think he realized okay, this guy's actually not trying to be an asshole.
I think this is going to wrap the show up, guys. You got anything else you want
to add? No, just stay off Twitter. It's depressing.
Oh, right now?
The war has started.
Oh,
yeah. I've kind of decided, same thing with the election of 2016 and 2020. I might stay off social media for a couple days. So if you don't hear from me, everybody, that's why.
You're okay. You're just choosing not to subject yourself.
I'm fine. I'm just...
Well, we can't assume that because you may run back out to the beer store with your bald tires and get stuck.
Beer store.
I seriously was going up that hill at 15 miles an hour thinking that this is where my car is just going to sit the rest of the night. I'm just going to park it and I'm going to walk home. It was a very weird situation to feel, but I made it home safely, luckily.
I heard earlier today that there were going to be the war was going to start tonight, pretty much. So,
well, good luck to. I don't even know how to word this. Best wishes to everyone involved. Hopefully, there's a peaceful resolution. I think that's the best way to say it.
Yeah. All right. Did you hear that?
Yes.
That's from
Strange
Brew.
Now take off, hoser.
Now take off, hoser.
Right. Ken Morris says, I got a friendly heckle in Bangor, Maine, wearing a Blues cap. I was told only Bruins caps are okay, but Rangers or Canadiens hats are tolerated. I see Bangor, Maine. You know what I think of every time I hear that?
Trailers for sale or
nothing.
Rent.
Bangor, Maine.
Trailers for sale or rent. Yeah.
One Night in Bangkok.
Yeah.
That's the hometown of Julie the Cat Gaffney.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why I remember that, but I will always remember that.
Yeah. So I remember that, but I also remember Roger Miller, King of the Road. That's Destination Bangor, Maine.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com, and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockinthatidlife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Center Ice Brewery, St. Louis's tasty hockey-themed beer. Check out your local beer vendors for availability. That's Center Ice Brewery Beer. Please drink responsibly. That'll wrap up episode 24 of season 10 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Emile Day, I'm Kurt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis